The ocean, vast and unpredictable, has long been a source of both fascination and fear for mankind. Beneath its shimmering surface lies a world full of secrets, some of which have defied explanation for centuries. Among the most enigmatic of these maritime mysteries are the ghost ships, vessels found abandoned, often with no trace of their crew, and sometimes even in seemingly pristine condition despite having been adrift for months or years. These ghostly ships spark our imaginations, raising questions about the uncharted dangers of the sea, the supernatural, and the unexplained. But what are the true stories behind these ghost ships? Why do some vessels seemingly vanish from history without a trace, only to reappear in a terrifying, desolate state? In this article, we will delve into some of the most famous and mysterious ghost ship tales from around the world. From the ancient, eerie legends of the Flying Dutchman to modern-day cases of inexplicable disappearances, we will explore the circumstances surrounding these abandoned vessels, the theories that attempt to explain their haunting presence, and the unsettling sense of the unknown that continues to surround them. 1. The Flying Dutchman. The ultimate ghost ship legend tale of the Flying Dutchman is perhaps the most famous and enduring ghost ship legend in maritime history. The legend, which has persisted for centuries, tells of a cursed ship doomed to sail the seas for eternity. The Flying Dutchman was said to be a Dutch East India Company vessel that was trying to navigate around the Cape of Good Hope at the southern tip of Africa in the 17th century. According to various versions of the legend, the captain of the ship, Hendrik van der Decken, made a reckless vow to sail around the Cape despite inclement weather. In a fit of defiance against nature, he swore that he would round the Cape even if it took him until Judgment Day. As the storm grew fiercer, the captain and his crew became desperate, but van der Decken stubbornly insisted on continuing. Some versions of the story suggest that in his rage, the captain struck a deal with the devil or made a pact that would curse the ship and its crew to sail forever, unable to find harbor or rest. According to legend, the ship would never be able to dock, and its crew was doomed to an endless voyage. The Flying Dutchman was condemned to sail through eternity, appearing to sailors as a ghostly apparition, sometimes visible only for a brief moment before vanishing into the mist. Over the centuries, sightings of the Flying Dutchman have been reported by numerous credible witnesses. Sailors claim to have seen the ship appear on the horizon, its glowing sails or ominous shape ominously approaching only to vanish when they tried to approach. These encounters are often said to be omens of death, bringing misfortune to those who sight it. Some even claim to have heard the ship's ghostly crew shouting from the deck, though none could ever board or interact with the vessel. While no physical evidence of the Flying Dutchman has ever been found, the legend continues to captivate the imagination of those who study maritime folklore. Whether it's a cautionary tale about defying nature or a real supernatural occurrence, the Flying Dutchman remains the archetype of the ghost ship. 2. The Mary Celeste. A mystery that still baffles. The story of the Mary Celeste is one of the most famous and widely debated maritime mysteries. This American brigantine set sail from New York in 1872, bound for Genoa, Italy, carrying a cargo of industrial alcohol. The ship was well equipped, and its crew consisted of Captain Benjamin Briggs, his wife, and child, along with a crew of 7 men. However, when the Mary Celeste was discovered drifting in the Atlantic Ocean in December of the same year, the ship was in perfect condition. There were no signs of a struggle or violence, and the cargo was still intact, yet the entire crew was missing. The ship was found by another vessel, the Dei Gratia, on December 4, 1872, approximately 400 miles off the coast of the Azores. The Mary Celeste's lifeboat was missing, but everything else seemed undisturbed. The ship's food stores were still plentiful, and the personal belongings of the crew remained aboard, leading many to speculate about the cause of the sudden disappearance. The ship's logbook showed no indication of any distress, and no traces of the crew were ever found. Over the years, numerous theories have been proposed to explain the disappearance of the Mary Celeste's crew. Some believe that the crew may have become ill from the fumes of the alcohol, while others suggest a mutiny or pirate attack. Some even believe that a seaquake or waterspout may have caused the crew to abandon ship in panic. However, no evidence has been found to support any of these theories, and the fate of the crew remains an enduring mystery. The Mary Celeste was eventually salvaged and sold to a new owner, but its legend lived on. The mystery surrounding its abandonment has continued to capture the public's imagination, leading to numerous books, films, and documentaries about the ill-fated voyage. 3. The Orong Medan, a ghost ship of death. Another chilling tale of a ghost ship involves the Orong Medan, a Dutch cargo ship that reportedly vanished in the waters between Sumatra and Malaysia in the 1940s. The story of the Orong Medan is shrouded in mystery, and much of what is known about it comes from second-hand accounts. According to one version of the tale, the ship was sailing when it sent out a distress signal, which was intercepted by nearby ships. The signal reportedly consisted of the words, "All officers, including the captain, are dead. The rest of the crew is dead too." Then, the message ended with a horrifying final transmission: "I die." The ship was eventually located by a rescue team, but when they boarded the vessel, they found the entire crew dead. Strangely, the crew's bodies were discovered with their arms outstretched, frozen in terror. Their faces were said to be contorted in expressions of extreme fear, and their eyes were wide open. Even more bizarrely, the ship itself was found to be in pristine condition, with no apparent signs of a struggle or damage. After the bodies were removed, a fire broke out on the ship, and it was eventually abandoned and sank to the bottom of the sea. There is no definitive evidence of the Orong Medan's existence, and many believe the story is an urban legend or a hoax. Some speculate that the deaths may have been caused by toxic fumes from the cargo of nitroglycerin or some other chemical hazard. Others suggest that the story may have been fabricated to explain an unknown disaster. Regardless of the truth, the tale of the Orong Medan remains one of the most chilling ghost ship stories ever told. 4. The Carola Dearing, an unsolved mystery of the Bermuda Triangle. In January 1921, the Carola Dearing, a 5-masted schooner, was found abandoned off the coast of North Carolina, near the infamous Bermuda Triangle. The ship had been sailing from the West Indies to Maine with a crew of 11 men. When the ship was discovered, it was in pristine condition, with its sails still set and no sign of the crew. The ship's logbook was missing, and there were no indications of any distress signals or unusual activity. Despite an extensive investigation by the U.S. Coast Guard, the disappearance of the crew of the Carola Dearing has never been solved. There were a number of strange elements that raised suspicion, including reports of a missing lifeboat and the fact that the ship's radio equipment had been completely disabled. Some speculated that the crew may have been taken by pirates, while others believed that the ship had been the victim of a natural disaster such as a hurricane. The location of the ship's final resting place, near the Bermuda Triangle, has led to further speculation about supernatural forces or extraterrestrial involvement. However, no concrete evidence has been found, and the mystery remains unsolved. 5. The Bechimo, a ghost ship that refused to death. The story of the Bechimo is one of the longest-running ghost ship tales in history. This 1,322-ton cargo ship was built in 1914 and was used for trade along the northern coast of Canada. In 1931, the Bechimo became trapped in ice during a voyage from Vancouver to Alaska. After several attempts to free the ship, the crew was forced to abandon it. However, the ship remained afloat despite being stuck in the ice, and the crew members were rescued by an aircraft. Over the following years, the Bechimo was seen adrift on several occasions, often in the same icy waters where it had originally been abandoned. Each time it was spotted, no crew was aboard, and no one ever seemed to be able to track it down or recover it. In the 1960s, the ship was reportedly sighted one last time, but it was never found again. Some believe it may have eventually sunk, while others suggest it may still be afloat somewhere in the Arctic, waiting to be discovered. The Bechimo's enduring ghost ship status speaks to the power of human curiosity and the untamed forces of nature. While no definitive answers exist about the ship's fate, the Bechimo remains a symbol of the mysteries that continue to lurk in the world's most remote and treacherous waters. Conclusion: they ghost ships of the world, whether steeped in folklore or recorded in maritime history, remain some of the most perplexing and chilling mysteries ever to occur at sea. From the legendary Flying Dutchman, cursed to sail forever, to the unexplained disappearances of vessels like the Mary Celeste and the Carola Dearing, these stories remind us of the unpredictable and often dangerous nature of the ocean. Whether they are the result of natural disasters, human error, or something more supernatural, these abandoned ships are a haunting reminder of the mysteries that continue to lurk in the vast, uncharted depths of our planet's oceans. As technology and exploration continue to advance, we may one day uncover the secrets behind these ghost ships. But for now, their eerie presence remains an enduring testament to the power of the sea and the mysteries that will forever haunt our collective imagination.